2, 3.
Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same.
It does.
And now it's here.
Mama said
What I say.
there'll be days just like this. And as the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit the like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when it's time. Tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. That's including the ice wall, baby. Stand tall or not at all. The Cowboys are running out of time. Q&A. As I say, pull a string and I wink at you. Let's get it. Yo, give me a 1 in the chat if the audio's straight. Come on. All right. Who running? Who running? Come on, baby. Stand tall or not at all, baby. Sharing is caring. Put a 2 in the chat if you shared this content. Come on, baby. Not gonna hold you long. All right. Hey. Yo. Come on. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on. Come on with it. All right. Appreciate you so much. Thank everybody for tuning in. Adrian, appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah. Your name is entered in for the drawing of this beautiful helmet, by the way. Let's go.
Adrian Lopez, $10.
Adrian! Yeah, appreciate you so much. Thank everybody for tuning in. The name is Law Nation. We talk Cowboys football and beyond. If this your first time ever being rocking with Law Nation, hey, we spit the real raw and uncut. That's what we do over here. Appreciate everybody. Normally, I don't go live around this time, but, you know, we got a lot of things that we got to get done for tomorrow and the whole end of this week. And I really appreciate you guys so much, and I thank you guys. So appreciate you. King G, he said he thought that YouTube was tripping, right? Sometimes they may trip, you know. But it is what it is. Yo, Adrian! Italian. Rex, Darian, appreciate you, man. All right, so who saw the final word last night? Show me, put a 1 in the chat if you got a chance to see the final word last night. We had special guest Clarence Hill on the show. I think he did not a good job at all. Yeah, let him know I said he didn't do a good job at all. He did a great job. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to Big Game James. We trying to get Big Game James to just at least pick up the package of the Kool-Aid. And, you know, he's not no Kool-Aid sipper. And shout out to Boss Cowboys Sports, who pretty much organized everything and got it going. And thanks to all of those who jumped in. Shout out to Kelvin Gray. He was in the audience there, as well as others, man. And I really appreciate you guys. And thank those who support the channel and all of its flavor. So running out of time. You know, time is the most valuable thing on this planet. Let me repeat, time is the most valuable thing or object or whatever you want to call it on this planet. It is. You can have all of the money in the world and you can spend it all and figure out a way to get it back. You can't say, man, I got all of the time in the world and spend it all and get it back. Because once your time is done, shoot. And when it's your time, that's one appointment you will not be late for. Yeah. You could be late for a doctor's appointment. You could be late for, a medical emergency bill or what have you. You could be late on those things. You could be late for school. But when it's your time, it's your time. And that's one thing that you can't put back to once it's gone. And I try not to rob you guys of your beautiful time. And I try to give you all my time, right? That's why I say at the end, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, I love saying that because I really do appreciate you guys' time. There's a time to troll, right? There's a time to be happy. There's a time to get drunk. There's a time to be sad. There's a time for it all, ladies and gentlemen. But Jerry Jones, according to this article that 105.3 The Fan, they had the guy that wrote the article on their show. We're going to review that. Right, and it's going to pretty much solidify what we talked about yesterday or last night about the time, right? Or not about the time, about the contracts. I look at it, I think that Clarence, he didn't look at it as a philosophy and a principle. I was like, no, it's a philosophy and a principle. They like raisins on a potato salad. If they held Emmitt Smith feet to the fire for whatever it's worth, they held Emmitt Smith, and we don't have a player that's on this team that led the league in rushing, had all of those touchdowns to also lift up a Lombardi trophy, right? We don't have that here, We got 2 playoff wins in the last 8 years with this particular team. Nobody is on the level of Emmitt. And if he had to cross the burning sands, go through the low dials to get his coins, hey, it's not going to be easy for Dak Prescott. It's not going to be easy for C. Dangerous Lamb, Michael Parsons, and beyond. Because they got a philosophy and a principle that is archaic to a degree, right? And I get it, Clarence, he still got to go to the yacht party, so he can't outspeak his wisdom teeth. So he had to be neutral to some of those things that he was saying. Shout out to him. But I'm going to say this. I don't give a dog about no yacht party. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he's curving his conversation for that. But what I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to have eyes to see how the Joneses like to take their time when it's time to negotiate, and they got that mindset that deadlines make deals. They got that mindset. It's already in their heart, soul, and mind and sinew and all of those things, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they're looking for a deal. The used car salesman, right? Like, I got this beautiful automobile, right? It's nice. Can I take it for a ride? Nah, I got to be with you, right? Can I look under the hood? No, see how things are. But I can ride with you. We can test drive it, And sometimes used car salesmen can be so tricky with their tactics that they test drive it by them driving you in the car. You don't even get a chance to test drive it. You in the passenger seat, right? You're not even behind the gas pedal, And they say, yes, don't it drive good? Yeah. And there's people all the time buying used cars, not even certified, right? Yeah. They are comfortable, dramatic. Yeah. And that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing, ladies and gentlemen, is figuring out a way to make them uncomfortable. And it's going to be hard to do that. Somebody said, man, I'm just not test driving my car right now, And get it. It rides good for a couple of weeks or such. And now when you park it in the garage, it's a trail of oil. Or a pan loser, or just all in your garage, And you got to sweep and put newspaper under it and all of that stuff, salt. Nah. So that's just what it is. The Cowboys front office do not allow these boys to operate with the confines of them being able to test drive either the market. They don't allow that, right? Because they'll slap that franchise tag on you and say, hey, this is the most money you ever had. We working out a deal, and we can't pay Susan, and we can't pay Pete and Paul, and we can't pay Joe because we're working on your contract. That's just how it goes. Swain says Trey will start this preseason. Yeah, he better. Think about this. You put in a lot of years. How many years Cooper Rush been in the league, y'all? I'm fighting for my guy Cooper Rush now. He's 5-1 as a starter. How many years he's been in the league, ladies and gentlemen? Can somebody put that number down in the chat, baby? Yeah. Can somebody put that number down in the chat? 8 years or such, right? That's a long time. 7 to 8 years, right? Trey Lance is making more money than him. Cooper like sitting back like, hey, what about me? You know what I'm saying? I'm 5-1 as a starter.
What more do you want from me?
Y'all don't think egos stretch out to these players on the other side? Shoot, I mean, like, what makes him so great? You know, I'm just as good. I'm getting 2.5. He's getting $5 million. Plus, he's given the opportunity, right? So Cooper Rush should be looking at this thing like, hey, man, you know, don't count me out. And according to Clarence, Trey is not outperforming Cooper. So man, come on, man. That's bullshit, right? You know, reverse psychology, man. Hey, man, the brother's taking my job over here. Come on now. I ain't gonna make it political. But it is what it is. The opportunities occur for certain people, right? So Trey Lance, he is, and I love this from last night, he talked about drafting and talking about players on potentials. And most fans and content creators talk from the potential sides of things, right? And Clarence, and some of the beat writers, they talk from an angle of, and I'm not saying potentials, but, you know, they talk from a tangible aspect. They are there. They can see. You know, so the playing field is not equal yet. So that's why I encourage people, even though we are new media, I encourage you guys to check out Brian Broadus. I encourage you guys to check out my guy John Machota. I encourage you guys to check out Clarence Hill, Calvin Watkins, and anyone else that I'm leaving out. You know, I encourage that because you will have to see the game and lean on from their point of view, from their perspectives, right? Not projections, because they can literally say, yeah, I bumped into Pat No C Walker. Yeah. KD dropped, not KD is not there, but yeah. But y'all give it what I'm saying. Jane Slater, you know. Who else I'm leaving out? You know, Aisha Morrison, if she's there. Yeah. Give me all other people, you know, names. I don't want to leave nobody out. So you got to get into those mindsets, right? To, okay, all right, I take for what they say with a teaspoon of salt. Yeah, I'm only taking a teaspoon of this, of what they're saying, right? And to a degree, 105.3 The Fan, they good people, man. You know, Bobby Belt, he's a real good guy. You know, all of those boys that we finna play this audio, good people. But old folks say, believe half of what you see and nothing that you hear, right? So if you are with the mindset that, hey, they've been tainted, they've been hit with the clicks for views or what have you, they've been doing a little too much, you know, double dipping a little too much, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to wait for when it's time for content creators like Law. Oh, that's me. You know what I'm saying? Big Game James, Vach, Foots, Sky, Boss Cowboy, my guy West Coast, Landlord, Dak Attack, Mark Holmes. You know, all of those boys, when they get out there, that they know that there's no wee-woo into their analysis. Whereas there may be a focal point on Cooper Beebe, but Brock Hoffman whooping ass, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all, man, I was out there, and I love the fact that Clarence Hill said, "Hey, this is not Brock Hoffman. You know, he's a veteran or what have you. But when have he played, right? You know, so I was out there last year. I was there. You know, there's a beat writer says, hey, I was there, you know. Was it Is it Mickey Spagnola? Was you there? Was you there? You remember Mickey? He always fight folks. Was you there? I was there. And nobody was talking about, man, that Brock Hoffman, man, yeah, he moving stuff out the way. And if he was any good, he would have gave Tyler Bigadish or Biotish. He would have gave him a little pressure, right? But I was there. Ain't nobody was talking about, yeah, man, that Brock Hoffman, you know. So I do agree with Clarence on, hey, Cooper Beebe, it's his job to lose, man. Mickey Spags get on your last nerve. Italian cowboy. Mickey boy, when he get hot though, don't he? Was you there? How you know? Was you there? Yeah, him and Brian Broadus, man. Do they do a podcast together? Or when they did, man, it was just, I used to just sit back in the days about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago and just listen to them two fight. Boy, it was all fun. But neither here nor there. Let's get to the right sources of everything. Appreciate all of you guys so much. Shout out to all of you guys for watching and being part of the nation and sharing is caring and all of that great stuff. Let me know if you guys can hear audio.
A special surprise for the 6 a.m. Club, our best audience of the entire show. Thanks for turning it on, leaving it on. Your home of the Dallas Cowboys. The headline from Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com is Cowboys are running out of time to avoid a mess. And there's one line in here that just hit me based upon what I said 24 hours ago, that like the positive influence on my right shoulder wants the Cowboys to win 12 games again and hopefully make it to the NFC Championship game. But with the way that they've handled this offseason, the devil on my left side, and I don't want this as my preference, I want to make that clear, but the left side is like, I just want to see it all burn to hell. I want to see it implode right in Jerry and Steven's face. And I saw this line, and I had to hit up Florio. A special...
damn, Florio. Hold on. I got to listen to that all over again. Hold on. Bear with me. I hit the wrong button, yo.
Influence on my right shoulder. My left side, and I don't want this as my preference. I want to make that clear. But the left side is like, I just want to see it all burn to hell.
All right. That's where I wanted to stop at. You know, here's my truths with this. Most of us is in the middle, in between, right? In purgatory, right? I want this team to win the Super Bowl. I was out and about earlier today, and I'm always number one cheerleader of the Cowboys because I'm like, hey, you a Cowboy fan? And the lady was like, yeah, I'm a Cowboy fan. Yeah, pretty lady too, by the way. And she was like, yeah, I'm a Cowboy fan, and we win the Super Bowl every year. And I was like, wait a minute. And I said, damn, where do we win the Super Bowl every year at that? Where you been? And she says, in my mind, we win the Super Bowl every year. I said, okay, right. And sometimes you got to hear me out, paint your own world so that you can live your life and live your truth, right? And she was living in her truth that every year they win the Super Bowl because that's how she coped with the fact that we don't win every year, you know, and we've been not competitive or been in the deep runs of postseasons every year. She have no control of the outcome of that, by the way. But she lives in Dallas and she loved the Dallas Cowboys. That's just how it goes. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we can paint the picture that we want to win and that there are those who are painting the picture ultimately that we going to lose, right? I have multitudes of people every year and in my comment section said, skip to the postseason, Law. It's trash. Give it up, man. We going to lose, man. I mean, it's time for us. It's time for us to fold it up and like Wallace in lawn chairs. To the extreme, both people are delusional. Believe it or not. The person that say, hey, we going to win, and the person that say, hey, we going to lose. Those are two delusional people, right? You got to at least fight for it, and I'd rather be the delusional one that say, hey, man, in my world, we whooping ass. You know, we beating up everybody, right? But it is easier, believe it or not, like Ripley's. Yeah. Believe it or not, it is easier to say every year, hey, man, we going to lose. The odds are in your favor, no matter who you root for, right? The odds are in your favor, right? If you say, hey, man, my team will not make it to the Super Bowl. If you're a Browns fan, you've been right for over 60 years. If you're a Miami Dolphin fan, you've been right for over 50 years. Right? You'll be right every year. Even coming off just recently, the Rams won the Super Bowl. But since 1999, if you say, hey, man, we're going to lose every year, you would have been right for over 20 consecutive years. Right? To a degree, the Eagles, they say they're going back to the Super Bowl. How long has it been since 2017? Right? They won in 17. It's going, hey, them years shooting by real fast. They shooting by real fast. And now the excuse that they used to say to us, hey, man, y'all counting them old trophies. I guarantee you they're going to start counting that. They're going to be blowing off that one little ring that they had in 2017. Hey, at least they're going to use this. At least we got one in the last 10 years. But at the end of the day, they're miserable. They only got one. Yeah. So ours may be old, but we can blow them off. At least we got 5 on them. We got 5 on it, Yeah. Yeah, so it's just how it is, man. Shout out to you, Taz. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming back. He's back around, y'all. Appreciate Taz. And Big Dog, appreciate you. Let's listen to more.
I want to see it implode right in Jerry and Steven's face. And I saw this line, and I had to hit up Florio as he wrote, all this is potentially going to blow up later this month. So let's talk about the possible blow up and everything else with Mike Florio on the D&M Leasing Hotline, joining us live on Sean and RJ. Good morning. You're not busy? Everyone else taking off? You're not busy this morning doing all your shows?
Well, I'm busy, but just in a different way. Our show's on hiatus. It always is this time of year, but I do my PFTPM podcast in the afternoon. I'm able to sleep in the morning until I wake up. I still wake up at the time my alarm would go off. It's just nice waking up without the alarm going off. So I happen to be sitting here plotting my next piece at PFT when you texted, so I was available to talk. So it's good to talk to you.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, brother. All right, talk about how this whole thing could potentially blow up.
Well, you've got the 3 guys whose contract situations remain unsettled. And this is the reason why they weren't able to go all in with free agents. They had to figure out Dak's contract first with that $55.4 million cap charge this year and a $54.5 million dead cap charge next year
40.
if they don't work something out before his contract voids. As a starter.
It's 40. But I just want to say this, though. The longer you wait to figure out stuff, the harder it becomes. My whole argument with Clarence, or debate with Clarence last night, was the fact that if the Cowboys were forward thinkers, right, and got in front of it before other guys got paid, then you could have easily got Dak Prescott for 48-ish to 49-ish. Maybe you would have gave him the $50 million, right, after a few tussles and beats ups of this and that. But you would have got him cleanly before that, and then you had every argument, right? Because I think that what the Eagles did, they said, oh, snap. It's time to pay Jalen Hurts. And they were wise enough to get in front of it before Burrows, right? So that's why they got Hurts at 51, right? Somewhere along those ways. And then someone else got paid. Herb and all of those guys got paid. And you would have been right in that sweet spot. And I think that you would have still got kickback from the fan base, right? You would have still got like, hey, man, Dak ain't worth, because this is how it goes. It comes with the price of doing business. But they would have been able to say, you know what? All right, cool. And you would have been able to approach that, ladies and gentlemen, coming off of one of his bad years. He had a broken thumb, right? We didn't add those things into it. But you still tied the league with INTs. It would have been an easy scoop and a layup for you to present that. But what happened is that you allow Herb to get paid, you allow Jalen Hurts to get paid, you allow someone else to get paid. Burrows got paid, and now Trevor Lawrence got paid. Now you can't, no matter how you try to make the justifications, now you cannot say, well, I want to give him 48. I want to give him 51. I want to give him 52, 53, 54. You can't. It's just like the housing market. So when you think long, you think wrong. They ran out of time with it. And now the base, the start point of the negotiation is at 55, not a penny less. And you're going to work your way up from there, and it's going to be anywhere between 55 and 60. That's the price of doing business, ladies and gentlemen. And he's doing it for the betterment of the good. He can say, hey, I'm just playing for the love of the game. I'm not playing for the love of the money. Yeah, but you got consequences and repercussions with your other compatriots that play that position, which will not allow you to do the Tom Brady angle of taking way below market value, which they was cooking the books, by the way, that nobody talk about, that they had an in-house deal where Tommy Boy Brady was selling his own personalized TD12 or TB12 or what have you in the stadium, which is not even allowed. But they swept that under the rug, man. The dude had about four Super Bowl rings at that time, right? So they put a slap on his wrist and said, hey, no, don't you sell that no more. That's going against CBA, collective bargain agreement, and whatever, you know. And they said, all right, we will sweep this under the rug. We will shank the person who wrote the article, and we'll make it disappear.
If they sign him after the contract void, they go above and beyond 54.5 with whatever cap number he'd have. And then you got CeeDee Lamb at $17.9 million in his fifth-year option, who is not willing to be patient and is reportedly planning not to show up for training camp. That was and is reportedly planning not to show up for training camp. That was the thing that really sparked my brain to look at this and say, okay, CeeDee's not going to show up reportedly. Michael Parsons shouldn't show up at all. And I know he said he's willing to be patient. I don't care what he said. He plays a position that's conducive to injury. If you suffer an injury that falls between career ending and something he could recover from to the point where he's never the same, that prevents him from ever getting the kind of money he already deserves. The problem is they can't get to him because first they got to get Dak solved, then they got to get CeeDee solved, then they move to Micah. They need to get all.
Well, I love Mike Florio's long drawn-out statement here, but I'm gonna say this though: you can still work CeeDee Lamb's money. I think we had someone to call in and put out the facts on that, and you can work that. You know, some people, I had a comment, and I forgot the person who commented, but it's like, Law, how are we gonna get the money? How, Sway? How? The money that we have, and I get the cash money and all of the bonus and prorations, you have $12 million here that you have available to spend. But when you get a situation that you get these players, they got what we call proration. You can prorate the money. You can spread it out. You can literally sign these guys, and you will fall under the grace that even what the 49ers did with Nick Bosa. They gave him quarterbacks money, and the big cap hit is not there until 2027. By the time, baby, I'm telling y'all, by the time 2027 is here, the NFL salary cap will increase so much that you can absorb some of that big cost of whatever his cap hit may be, because you can't look at the cap hit from what it is now or tomorrow. You got to look at it for what it's going to be within the scale of 3 years. And I think that what the Cowboys tend to do with their front office is they look at the now and the next year, and they can't see beyond the third and the fourth year. They short-sighted. Phoenix, appreciate you rising. Appreciate your times rising. Law, this is off topic, but how long is Brandon Aubrey contract? That's a guy that I want to see. Pause. Get a long-term deal. He's the best kicker in the league. All right, so you don't have to worry about him. He was a rookie last year. You got at least 3 more years before you have to worry about Brandon Aubrey. And being a kicker, he's not going to break the bank. He's not going to break the bank. But I get what you're saying. He is a damn good kicker. Here's the thing is with kickers, as far as long-term contracts with them, I look at them as assassins, right? I'm signing these guys no more than 2 to 3 years at a time. I don't want to get them 4 or 5 years because when a kicker goes bad, they go bad for some reason. B. Bird says Giselle was making way more than him too. Yeah, and that counts too, right? Right. You get a little lady that makes a lot of money, especially if she's your queen to be. That makes things smoother, right? That's guys right now. I know a fella, man, he's dating a doctor, and she working all those long hours. Hey, he'll stay at home dad. He stay at the crib. He can do all other things. Start his own car washing business, on the side. Yep, and play Nintendo all day. And he started racking in money just as much as she do, while washing cars and playing Nintendo, So it's leverage. So guys, sometimes you can do the reverse hustle. Get you a lady that makes some coins, yeah. It's not always the fellas that need to make it, but that's on a power scale, And Giselle, according to her, she practiced that witchcraft stuff. She did all of those rituals and stuff, Bohemian Grove stuff, Hey, and then she did the karate instructor. She was doing she had a lot of things going, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Giselle, man, hey, lady, I love you. Don't come after me. Don't hex me. No. Yeah. She literally knew every year. According to TikTok, allegedly, in some documentary out there, she knew every year that Tom Brady was going to win the Super Bowl. Right hand to the man. She practiced that stuff, man. She had that reptilian blood, all of that stuff, man. So you got to find us. That's what we need, y'all. We need us a Giselle somewhere, man. We need one of them. Y'all still out there? Do any of y'all like the Cowboy players?
What more do you want from me?
All right, don't hex me now.
All 3 of these done. These should have been done months ago, and it's all potentially coming to a head. If CD holds out, and if Micah does what Ezekiel Elliott did 5 years ago, because remember, Zeke showed up for the offseason program in 2019 and then didn't show up for training camp, and it was a surprise. Even though Micah is saying he is willing to wait, maybe between now and July 24, he says, screw that. I want my contract. I'm not showing up. If 2 of those 3 don't show up for camp, that's a problem for the Cowboys.
Well, Dak is going to show up. Parsons going to show up. It's still way too soon, for Parsons to say, hey, man, I'm holding out. And then Parsons got a lot of things that he got to prove that he would love to prove, by the way. And he wants to win that Defensive Player of the Year. You can tell in his heart, soul, and the desire. He wants to win. Dude out there running the sands, man. And I'm going to say this again. I may not agree with the aspect of Parsons doing the podcast on his off day or what have you. Whatever it is, I may not agree with that. But I'll prefer that versus him rolling dice, racing cars, chasing skirts all throughout the city of Dallas. Parsons could be a real bad problem for us. Real talk. Don't y'all know how Dallas is? He can be real. You think Rick Ross got into trouble a couple of days ago? Shoot. That ain't nothing on what Dallas can do to you. So I'm glad. I love the fact that he is a person that said, hey, I like to talk on the podcast. And I like to go over this and that and play my game. I would love that opposed to the other side, Somebody say he a fan. Yeah, I would prefer that, and that's just what it is. I would prefer that.
He a fan, he a fan, he a fan. He a fan, he a fan here.
Why not all three do that though? Like, why strength in numbers? All three just say, "Hey, look, you're gonna get us all signed, or we're all skipping camp."
Well, because Dak doesn't.
Let me skip in front of this. It's crazy because these three guys are on three different tiers of life. In life, they're in three different tiers. Dak Prescott, he's 30s, fit to be 31, quarterback, been in the league for almost 10 years, 8 years, 9 years, been in the league. CeeDee Lamb is in a position that's normally considered diva on the offensive side of the coin. Been in the league before Parsons, a whole year, right? Parsons came in 2021, right? So been in a whole year before him, even though they could be like the same age, or Parsons could be older. I don't know. But those are two different tiers. Parsons is on the defensive side. So two different areas of life where these guys are at. Now, if Lamb was Trayvon Diggs or something on the defensive side and Parsons on the defensive side, then that's a whole nother conversation. They would literally have to say, hey, let's call these guys in, man, and go ahead and get this contract done. But I'm old enough to remember Jerry Jones saying, don't piss off a guy with a lot of money. Jerry would pull some strings, man, and you will have a very short career in the NFL. Let's see. Let me go by selections of. Okay, all right. Dez Bryant. Okay, all right. All right. He said some things. Ryan Switzer. He tried to pop off at the mouth. They traded him away. He just disappeared. What was the guy? Greg Hardy. Shoot, made that guy start boxing. So you don't want to go against the grain with Jerry and them, man. He just figure out ways, man. And it was weird, man. Like we wanted to see Dez, like what he was talking about earlier. We wanted to see Dez play against us to throw up the X one good time, to put it in our face. Then all of a sudden, he come down with C 18, 19, and 20. I said, wait a minute, how he come up with all of those, man? I thought it was just C 19. He had 18, 19, and 20. Who remember that, right? Like, Dez like, wait a minute. Then they say it was a false positive, but since it's a positive, well, we can't put you out there on the field, Dez. Yeah. DeMarco Murray, he disappeared. DeMarco Murray fell off the flat of this earth. He tried to fight one of our kickers, man. It was crazy.
Doesn't have any reason to skip camp. He's holding all the cards. He's got all the leverage. And all he's got to do is go out and play well this season, and he hits the open market. They can't restrict him. They can't restrain him. He becomes a free agent. And I think at some level they're pondering the possibility of letting him find out what else is out there for 2025 so he'll know that he should take the Cowboys offer after the season ends, if that's where it goes. And I think based upon the fact that we don't have a deal yet, and we didn't have a deal at a time when that cap space would have made a difference because it could have caused CeeDee Lamb to get a new deal, Mike could get a new deal, money.
Yeah. Oh, my guy says Dez signed with the Saints and couldn't play because of torn Achilles. But I thought that he had made his way back and signed with the Ravens, and we were about to play the Ravens one year. And then all of a sudden, he couldn't come. I think Dez was on that Ravens team. Y'all let me know. I could be off there. My mind is late. I normally don't go live around this time independently. Look, Lance Bell got the truth. Pay CD. You come on with it. Yeah. Alvin Harper, way back in the days, he disappeared. Yeah. One thing I can tell you, man, that reach back game with the Cowboys, they will reach back and get you. This is the second time. Well, this is the third time technically we did this because we did it with Dwayne Thomas, right? We left with the Patriots. He didn't sign something. They brought him back. Herschel Walker, we traded him to the Vikings, and then a few years later, we got Herschel Walker back. Now Ezekiel Elliott, Zeke is back, baby. All of those scenarios are different, but it is what it is.
Money left over to sign other players. I feel like this is going to go into next year. There's still a chance they get it done before the start of camp. But if I'm Dak, there's no reason to hold out. I got one more year, and then I go wherever I want to go, even if I end up staying exactly where I am.
Yeah, so that's the other reason why Dak Prescott ultimately should be like the I'm not worried phase, because he's going to get $55 million. $55 million is a lot of money, man. Right? 55. He getting 55. I mean, it's not Jason Tatum money, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of money, man. Don't basketball be taking the dumps on these players' money? Like Jason Tatum, how much money did Jason Tatum just got, y'all? That joker got more money than I saw, like a side by side. He got more money on his new contract than what Tom Brady made his entire career. But that's a whole nother conversation. Dak is going to get 55 now, 40 next year, if he don't even do anything, because that's owed to him, how the guaranteed is. And then whoever's going to be willing to pay that money for him next season. Shit. Swain said 55. Give me 5, man. I'll be the quarterback. That what Trey Lance said. Give me 5, man. I'll be the quarterback. $314 million, Marcus, man. Yeah, 315 flip. Yeah, that's a lot of money, man. James Newman says MLB, they make a lot of money. Yeah. But they work you in the MLB, though. People think that baseball. Have you ever got hit with a fastball? A ball traveling at 100 miles per hour? Yeah. And then you got to play 50 million games, man, and traveling here, traveling there. They work you on the MLB, man. So, yeah. You get to earn that money. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy money, though. Yeah. Less players to pay. Yeah, you're right. Let's listen to it.
How do you think the Goff and Trevor Lawrence deals affect Dak? And do you think we are looking at $60 million a year now? Affect Dak? And do you think we are looking at $60 million a year now?
I don't think it affects Dak, because Dak's leverage comes from the fact that he's in the final year of the contract that he signed after the Cowboys dragged their feet for far too long. They should have gotten him signed after his third NFL season. They benefited from the final year of his rookie contract at $2, $3, $4 million, something that was embarrassingly low relative to what Dak had accomplished. And then they got tagged for a year, and then when they tagged him the second time, that's when they finally woke up and realized, wait a minute, we're screwed here, because next year he's Kirk Cousins. Next year the only way to keep him is to give him a 44% increase over his 20% bump from his first-year franchise tag. We're not going to do that. We better sign him. And when he did that 4-year, $140 million deal with all the triggers in there, with all the things in there that kept them from franchise tagging, that forced them back to the table after 3 years, I remember saying, hey, this is better than Patrick Mahomes' contract. And look where Dak is. And the leverage comes from the contract. The market is the market, as Tua Tagovailoa said a few weeks ago. I think Dak was already in position to get to 60 if he wanted to get to 60 without Lawrence and Goff. Lawrence and Goff getting what they got makes it an even easier argument, but that leverage all flows from the urgency.
No. That leverage comes from Mike Florio, the stupidity. Right. Look, Todd France, I can't stand the way, he probably. Now, I would love, if I'm the representative and I got Todd France in my corner, I would love him. But since he kind of like the opposite is, and I know he's working for Dak Prescott, he's trying to get the best possibility of money for Dak. But on principles, man, I can't stand Todd. You know what I'm saying? France, because he's going to be that stickler with the Joneses, right? He's not going to make it easy for them, and the Jones is not going to make it easy for him. So this tug of war is just like Roger Goodell versus Jerry. Jerry is not going to bend to Todd, and Todd is not going to bend to Jerry, and this is making this whole conversation really rough. But the one opportunity that you had the shining bullet that was in the chamber that you could have pulled the trigger and shot right at Todd, and it would have been a silver bullet, and he would have been dead if you hit him. If you would have said to this, allegedly, this is the only analogy, Facebook and YouTube, don't yellow me, don't flag me, is basically what I'm saying, is that he had no leg to stand on. Dak had no leg or leverage to stand on outside of, hey, if you guys let me play this out, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my very best. And I promise you, I will throw less interceptions. That's the only ground that he held. That's the only ground that he was able to walk on. And that's the reality of it. And it's fireworks. That's just what it is. That's the reality, and it is flat out fireworks. It is good to bet on yourself. But what happened when you lose that bet? Klay Thompson, oops.
To drop the cap number for this year and next year.
Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com, joining us live on the D&M Leasing Hotline on Sean and RJ.
That was the end of it, man. Shout out to those boys on 105.3 The Fan. I think they did a great job of reaching out to get clarity on running out of time. I told you guys the most valuable resources, or the valuable source on this earth, is time, right? And it's measured all the way. And speaking of time, I hope that you guys got enough time to hit the like button, share this content with me, and also help the nation out with these things, what I call PrizePicks, man. You can be in the mix as well. When you download PrizePicks, use promo code LAW. With that, we will match 100% of your deposit up to $100 on your first deposit. And this is a great way to pick your selections here. I'm going with, let me see if I can share my power picks right here, man. Y'all bear with me. Let me see if I can share this. I don't know if I can share it. Let me see that. Yeah, I'm going to share this with you guys. And this is where I'm going with James Webb with Les. I'm going with Nick with Les. I'm going with Gildy with Les, and as well as with Mickey Sudu with more. So when you download PrizePick, man, use promo code LAW. Let me know when you did it, and let me know if you're doing it, and we get this party on and rocking. And shout out to PrizePicks once again for taking good care of the nation while we are in this off season. Appreciate all of you guys. Time is very valuable. Time is something that the Jones family, whether it's Jerry or Steven, they don't have that what we call sense of urgency. They understand the process, and one of the things that because they know that they make the final decisions. One of the things that Clarence Hill lamented last night is, even if we do sign, basically, in short, I'm paraphrasing, what are they expecting to do with the money anyway? Absolutely nothing. Even if they say to you all, Dak Prescott has taken a big hit on the salary cap and is not allowing us to go out and be aggressive in the free agency. But what if I told you guys, once upon a time, we had $90 million available to spend, and we did the exact same thing? Dontario Poe, George Iloka. We will and deal for those low-end bargain base shopping. That's what we do. That's a philosophy. Diaz, your name is entered into the drawing to win this beautiful helmet. He says, "What's up, Law? New to the chat, but always watching your videos. I appreciate you, man. I thank you, man. Sometimes you gotta
pop out and show certified boogie, man. I'm the one that up to score with him.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show me, man. I appreciate you, man. So my thing is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a principle, this is a philosophy, and this is what they do. I'm not afraid to say that. And I think that they are not shy of that. Overall, I think that they eventually going to cave. There's going to be some breaking news. There's going to be people swinging fists, punching walls, mad at the world because Dakota Prescott now got a 4 or 5 year deal. There's going to be a lot of people angry. I don't foresee them being so stubborn that they say, you know what, we're going to eat the 55, we're going to eat the 40, and then we're going to see what's on the other side of the rainbow.
He a fan, he a fan, he a fan. He a fan, he a fan here.
Yeah. The only other hope from this whole fiasco would be for those who's anti-Dak, right? For Dak to Prescott to fall flat on his face. I don't think that he would be cuttable because he don't play and perform up to that type of level during the preseason and regular season, right? And he's not going to throw the ball in regular season. Is what Clarence was talking about, even with Trey Lance. The only way is for Trey Lance to go into preseason, because he damn for sure don't look good in practice. We're talking about practice right now. He don't look good. But for him to go into preseason, to light it up, these 3 games in preseason, and 9 times out of 10, preseason is vanilla. Preseason is that fake stuff that what we call you really can't gauge it because you just don't know. And then you're dealing with people that's going to be putting in application for Amazon, right? And hey, Amazon ain't that bad. And Lyft and what's it called what's the other car? Uber. And Uber's not that bad. I heard somewhere in Boston, somewhere up northern United States, they paying $35, $36 an hour, right, to drive folks around. When there were some of these people who are going to be putting in their application that you're going to be throwing the ball to. So you will have to have a flawless victory in preseason for you to sway the mind of the Joneses to say, hey, all right, we're going to give Trey Lance this situation. And that's going to be a tall task right there because he's not giving us that for what we are able to see. So hopefully by the end of this month, I'll be able to see a few throws that I tell you, like, yeah, with all bull sugar aside, man, Trey Lance is him. Or I'll tell y'all, with all bull sugar aside, man, it's a long night, man. It's a long night, man, to think that this dude going to do something. The crass part, and I'm not saying that I want this, the crass part, like the total crazy thing that you would try to lean for if you are in this situation, if some freak accident happened and Trey comes in and, he do that part of it. And we all, even if you hate someone, you should never wish for injury. But that would be the only way, right? Is for someone like Trey to gain that spot and that duty and that responsibility to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Right? And we're not leaning, and we would never say, hey man, we want someone to get hurt so we can get the Wallet Pip thing to go. No. Better give him a game, boy. Hey, yeah. Yeah. And the thing is with CD Lamb, here's the craziest thing. I think that those fines, yeah, that's one thing. And we know how stubborn the Jones family is, right? No offense to them. We know how stubborn they are. We will see the tolerance of ambiguity that CD will have when them fines start busting, Because, Bosa, they said, Bosa was eating them fine checks. Bosa come from generational money, right? I mean, let's be real. CD and them, they just got money yesterday. So when them fines start coming in, you probably say, All right, man, I can weather the storm. All right, yeah, find me again. Oh, man, that's another fine check. Yeah, I ain't coming to practice. No. And then people all hyped up, dancing and stuff. CD going to have his blockers on because people going to be like, where's CD at? And another fine come in. We'll see who's going to fold first, right? So that's just how that stare down is crazy, man. I'm telling y'all, man, that stare down is crazy. And it messes up your brain and your psyche, right? Right? So we hope that I just hope that the Joneses look at it like, man, everybody's saying CD, where's 88? Let them just go ahead and pay CD him. I don't give a dog. Give him 35. Matter of fact, give CD 36. APY, I don't give a dog. It's not my money, I guess. They well law issue. But them fines are one thing. But them game day checks, I don't think he got the cojones, you know what I'm saying, to miss a game day check, though. One of them September checks. Nah, he ain't going to miss one of them now. Fines one thing, but them game day checks, he going to be shooting up on the sideline. Yeah. And he better than me. He better than me because I don't want to lose no money. I'd have been out there every day. I got to hang there. I won't suit up, though. Yeah, why you ain't out there on the field? Well, I'm doing a soft, they're going to call it a soft holdout. It ain't going to be no hard holdout. Yeah, it's going to be soft. I'll be the softest holdout dude out there, Why you running half speed? Well, you know how my check is looking right now. Yeah, y'all got me one of these? Okay, all right, good. Let me work the chords, man. Yeah, and that synovial fluid in my knee ain't working right. I had to figure out a way. I ain't finna leave that money like what what's the quarterback? Lamar Jackson. Shoot. He had a signing bonus of $750,000. Shoot, what we doing? People just got free at last. I'd have been out there, man, with a Lamar Jackson costume on, man. Put that on me, man. Give me that $750,000. Shoot. What we doing? Ain't that right, Chris Money? Swain. JV boy. Shoot. Nah, these players, man, shoot, they just don't know, man. I'd have been out there. Appreciate you, Rico. Appreciate you. But CD better be doing well with the stock market when he missed them game checks. Them game checks hit different, John. Yeah. The stock market right now is volatile, man. There's a lot of stuff that's going crazy, man, in the market. Nothing sustainable right now. Even the housing market, things are weird. And brace yourself. They trying to make another mandatory shot thing with a certain company. I ain't going to say the name right now. I don't want to get taken down. Lord says, and your name is entered in to the drawing to win this nice, beautiful helmet. He says, my thing is Dak as a third. Wait a minute. Okay. Let me see. My thing is, Dak started as a third string. He played all preseason game. Tony got hurt. Dak moved from third to starter. That's going to be Trey. Watch. Nah, dog. It didn't happen that way. Dak got in not just because Tony got his back snapped, but what was a guy named Kellen Moore? That joker leg snapped too, man. You know how they say big back, big back. Kellen Moore leg snap back. Kellen Moore got hurt too. Right? And then Jamil Showers had to hit the Showers because he couldn't throw from me to this camera, but he was athletic. Y'all remember that Jamil Showers? And I think we had the other dude, butt fumble guy, name tip of my tongue. Yeah, so it was a lot of factors in. It was like one of those things whereas the wind blew a certain way and Dak Prescott got in there. So Sanchez, man, my bad for calling him butt fumble guy. But come on, man, Sanchez or Dak Prescott, So I was telling y'all, man, for the Cowboys to think that they can catch lightning in the bottle again, They must know the hidden tapes from The Simpsons. You know, The Simpsons be knowing the future. So I don't think that that's going to happen. And to be fair to Trey Lance, to be fair to Trey, Dak was a horrible practice quarterback. Like in practice, they said, man, that dude was terrible, man. He couldn't hit water if he fell off a boat, right? So he was terrible in practice. But when the game turned on, I'll never forget the first time I was just really looking at him was the Senior Bowl. I got the tape somewhere floating around on YouTube. I was like, yeah, he looked better than some of these guys getting drafted. And I said, all right. Shout out to Mississippi State boys, my Mississippi guys. Okay, all right. And then when I saw him in practice, I was like, all right, yeah, this dude, he all right, man. He one read, just run, tuck it to run, you know. Bootleg Cam Newton, Cam, you know. And then we played against the Rams. Dak Prescott, when I saw that brother out there carving up the Rams, and Dez was looking like Dez again, I was like, shoot, I said, that Cajun boy right there, he's something right there, you know. And that's when I knew, like, okay, he a real one, you know. And then he called up the other team, and I said, do it again. If I see him do it 3 times in a row, then we got something out of Dak. And then we played the Seattle Seahawks. Dak, I believe, played so well in that preseason game. Tony Romo was like, hey, you know when Tony gets serious because he wears his hat to the back? Tony flipped his hat from the back to the front. And he was out there, and Tony started getting out there, belly and all, started getting out there and started throwing the ball around. We're like, hey, Tony, you might want to sit this out. Man, we can't stand the Seattle Seahawks anyway, you know, because we were still mad at Seattle Seahawks to what they did to Sean Lee. Who remember that? So we always never liked the Seattle Seahawks, you know. So when I believe Dak played so well that Tony said, look, let me jump into this meaningless game and throw the ball around. And we were like, no, Tony. Tony jumps out. Protection was kind of weak. So he slid and moved and tried to run like Dak was doing. And the old boy came from behind. Yeah. I said, oh, Lord.
He a fan. He a fan. He a fan. He a fan. He a fan.
This is exactly what I said. Tony!
That's where the guts went, just dropped them.
Yeah, it was just crazy, man. But neither here nor there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think that Trey will have that ability to play like Dak did in those preseason games, because for one, to quantify that, we don't have a Dez Bryant. For two, we don't have an old man Witten out there. Now we do have my guy Ferg and all of that. But hey, after we see and CD Lamb, if he's still holding out, look, who he gonna be going off? We don't really need to see Brandon Cooks get down like that. You know, Brandon Cooks hit the bench. Ferg, truth be told, I don't need to see Ferg in the doggone preseason. I'm cool with just because we only got 3 preseason games. So we need to see what we can get out of Hendershot, Brevin Spann Ford, and John Stevens. That's all I need to see. I don't need to see Schoonmaker and all of those other boys. Yep. So it's a whole different world, man, and we only got 3 preseason games. So and the dress preseason game supposed to be our 2nd preseason game. Who we play, the Raiders or somebody? Our 2nd preseason game. So that ain't gonna work, y'all. It definitely ain't gonna work. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I thank all of you guys for being part of these type of episodes. On my way out, I just want to tell you guys, keep your head up. Time is precious, so be valuable with your time. You know what time is? Because there's two most important days of your life. The day you was born and the day you realize your purpose. There's a birth date and there's the end date, the end time. Time is that dash, and that's literally all what we have on this plane, that dash. In that dash, I want you guys, for those who are watching this show, to be operating in your purpose while you're in that dash. Because it's just that. Either you're going to be working on your dream and your purpose, or you're going to be working on someone else's dream and someone else's purpose. Yes, time is money too. You can measure it that way, but it's more valuable than money. Yeah. James says, nah, law, yeah. This is how it goes, unfortunately. That dash means a lot. Shout out to you, Chris Money. I can buy time. Jerry said, you working out that deal again, Jerry? Talking about you work out that deal with that man upstairs. Where is that?
I want me some glory hole.
Yeah. Jerry, it's too early for this, man. It's too late, too. Can't buy time, Jerry. And the man upstairs, he don't give you things with conditions. He give you things abundantly. He pour upon a blessing that you can't receive. But there is another person that give you things with strings attached, with payment that's due 4 to 5 times more than what you asked for. And all I ask for y'all is not to fall into those traps. Ain't that right?
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had. I gave you everything I had.
My gosh. Lord, you got 20 of them, man. Appreciate you. Your name is also entered again in the drawing for this mighty helmet. Let the AI speak on it.
Lloyd McAfee, $20. I just think Trey needed a new start. I really do feel he's Doc's replacement. We have seen 8 years of Doc. He's good but can't get us over the hump. The Eagles let a first-round pick go in Wentz and got to the Super Bowl.
The Eagles don't have Jerry Jones. The Eagles don't have Stephen Jones. I get with what you're saying. The Eagles provided A.J. Brown and another number 1 wide receiver out of Smitty. The things that we will probably provide for Trey if in those type of situations would be for them to try to figure out to finagle Ron Flournoy and Jalen Tolbert. Think about it. Brandon Cook's gone after this year, and they already wrestling around with CD. But I give it what you're saying. And 2 things can be true, and I thank you for your support. But reports are that Trey Lance is struggling right now. And the problem is, the conundrum is, when the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts, they had at least a minimum of 4 years. Even though he kind of worked with Carson Wentz for that one. Right? Carson Wentz, they sold him off. It wasn't no rush factor. With Trey Lance, the problem is he don't have no contract at the end of this year. You already got to pay, regardless of whether or not Dak Prescott is here or not, $40 million. So what kind of contract do you think Trey Lance is willing to pay for or play for? I don't think that you can sign him to a $10 million, $15 million. If he's worth the grain of salt And if he showed us anything, it's going to be equivalent to anywhere between $25 to $30 million. So that's the problem. In other words, that's a conundrum, a circular one. The best bets right now, according to Clarence Hill and a few other beat writers, is that Cooper Rush is better than Trey. So if I had to build a house right now, it would have to be built in the name of Cooper Rush. We trust. Unfortunately, and I'm not beating up Trey. I would think the world of Trey. But that's why training camp is such a valuable, important piece for us to see with all natural eyes what Trey Lance can do in the silver and blue uniform with all of those necessary reps. But I feel with what you're saying, Cowboy Nation, time is running out regardless. And you can't get nothing back in return for Dak Prescott, even though you've seen him from all of those years because of the no trade clause. And you can't even franchise tag him because of the no franchise tag clause. So you stuck to do one of these P's, pray or play. You gonna pay him or you gotta pray that something else happened. That's just what it is. It's a struggle. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan, or lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, just simply, ladies and gentlemen, go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold poverty or famish or fame or the sickness of your body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it, baby. Let's get it, baby. We about one love, man. Appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. Let's go. And remember, I love y'all, man. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours.
Give me my theme music.
Come on. And roll those red.
Can we check or something?
It is. Come on.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
All I wanna do is run it. David Armstrong, Eric, appreciate you, man, for the subscribing. Members, Double R, baby. Super chat. I can't talk today for some reason. Adrian Lopez, Phoenix Rising, B-Bird, Diaz, and Lord McCaffrey. Come on. Who with Law, man? Put Law in the chat if you with Law, man. Hey. Shout out to you, James. Newman, appreciate you. Jerry Jones, baby, in the house. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the shout out to you, Greg Young. Appreciate you. Jerry, appreciate you. Rico 757 with it, baby. Yeah. Smoke one for you. I got the zombies, man. They loaded. Lately. Come on. Shout out to you.
I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clones. Yeah. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. Yeah. I been really in the field.
Oh, snap. Did y'all hear that breaking news? Did you guys hear that breaking news? Oh, my goodness, man. I got to give you guys this breaking news.
We answered. I've talked about it. I thought we had it. But it goes to show you who's a better team. And I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe
Riggs!
Clap the hat one more time for the Eagles. The hard fight they did.
Boy, just one more time.
Let's go, birds fly, Eagles fly. Still Super Bowl champions.
Hey, just one more thing, man. I just got to do this for the Washington people now.
When your team is getting demolished like that, I sit up here, I swallow a lot of what I know.
that.
And a lot of what I know is what I'm starting to see right now. That's what this team is offering. You're not good when you get embarrassed like that. And why the hell do we have these benches with heat things in a damn stadium? It is the dumbest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. We took them to Dallas, they embarrassed us. That if we take those to another stadium, we have to be the laughing stock.
Look at you crying.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Montisha! Oh my goodness.
Hulk smash!
Oh my goodness, man. It brought the zombies of the apocalypse.
Dak Prescott.
Oh my goodness, man. This is the funniest thing ever, man. Hey,
God season you.
come on. What we tell him too?
Please come home. I got beans and bologna.
Hey, come on with it, man. One more.
See, when you invest in something,
Come on with it.
and you hustle and you work for something, you got a different type of attachment to it.
One love, man.
You're going to
See
have a
y'all on
cold
the
day in hell
side.
for somebody to try to take this from you. We live by this. We die by this. We don't surrender. We don't retreat. Every man must search his own soul. I listen to that quote every morning.
I want to get mine out the mud. I want mine out the dirt. I don't want no handouts. I don't want no celebrity to co-sign me and somebody to see me in the street and say, I remember when such and such put you on. No.
It may sound harsh, but I'm going to beat myself up so the world can't beat me up. Because the world is a cruel place. It can be a beautiful place if you allow it to be. And once your perspective changes, that's when miracles happen. What else I got to conquer so I can get to the next level? What else? There's always going to be giants at the gate. If it ain't rough, it ain't us. Let's go. Wow. So it ain't like, why me? It's like, why not me? Let's do it.
The flowers don't chase the bees. The flowers just are.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
Posey, man, come on, man. He says Jerry teeth look like corn on the cob. Oh my goodness, man. That's that good coffee love right there, man. Shout out to Jerry and the teeth. Come on. You wrong for that, Posey. Jared, don't give away the secrets, man. So that's what you need. Coffee and weed. Make sure you check out Rogue Shop, though, by the way. Use promo code LAW when you check out Rogue Shop. Yeah. RogueShop.com, man. I be on. The information's in the chat. You can get some of that good stuff that Jerry talking about. Wherever you go, whatever you do, play a tune. Shout out to Garcia, appreciate you. And another one. What we tell them?
Don't let the street lights
hit you all alone. Come on.
You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I'll follow. Wherever you go, whatever you do,
Listen properly.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Shout out to you, Diaz. Appreciate you. Cedric, we up out, man. One more time, man.
Not the one who made the rules, right? Do it.
Hey.
Do it, right? Do it, left. Do it, right? Do it.
In the beginning, yeah. In the beginning. In the beginning. In the beginning.
Damn act
In the
together.
beginning. In the
Let's go, man!
in the beginning.
Let's go!
Yeah. In the beginning. Yeah. In the beginning.
All I ask.
In the beginning. In the beginning.
Dak Prescott.
In the beginning.
Get your damn act together. Don't like your attitude.